everyone. Today we'll be having a very first conversation with Shiva orientation that will be comment that that will comment the final placement process that Shiva is giving an overview of the entire final placement process. Just as well.
Everybody, please turn off your cameras and turn on your cameras and switch off your mics. I guess someone's mic is on. Pooja the Tuja. Yeah, better. So,
A very good afternoon to everyone. Today we'll be having a very first session which is Shiva orientation that will comment the final placement process with Shiva giving an overview of entire final placement process. Just as well. Before we get started, I would like to introduce our principal, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, whose expertise has always been our guiding light, and we appreciate of her ongoing support and counsel. Unfortunately, Pooja ma'am could not join us today due to prior commitments. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Naveen Punjabi, Professor and Director of Placement. All of us know him for his very inspiring and enthusiastic support. Unfortunately, he is also not available today because of unforeseen circumstances. Just was right. The team working closely with the Director of Placement oversees all aspects and is mostly responsible for ensuring a seamless and effective placement process. We are honored to welcome the Joint Chairperson, Ms. Nihareeka Kotai, Ms. Gaurav Gurnani and Ms. Jennifer Davis. The Vice Chairpersons, Ms. Riddhima Upadhyay and Ms. Bhhomika Chhabria, and the Senior Advisors of the Placement Cell, Mr. Neel Jain and Ms. Mahak Kukreja.
hello, am I audible? Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I am Gaurav Gurnani, the Joint Chairperson of Placement Cell. So before we commence with the session, I would like to say that this session is going to help you understand the entire placement section, and a lot of your queries will be resolved by the end of the session. So I would request all of you to stay back and clear all your doubts. And please feel free to ask your questions, and you can put them in the chat box also. I would also request everybody to turn on your cameras, and I hope we have a fruitful session. So, yeah. So, as you all know, the placement season begins in the late August with the Pulse session, which my team will explain you in detail in the later slides. Now, the timeline of the placement set from for third year students goes like this. From August to September, we will have on-campus final placement process phase one. Then, post Diwali, that is from October onwards, we will start our off-campus final placements. Then, moving further, in on-campus final placement phase two, which will begin in the month of November, and it will continue till the end of the session, that is till March. Now, the major difference between on-campus and off-campus placements is that in on-campus placements, all the relevant job details are confirmed by the team from the company and then ultimately shared with you. And this includes everything from confirming the dates of replacement talk and also the final interviews. Then, if there is any change or update from the company, that will be communicated to you directly, promptly via mail. On the other hand, in off-campus placements, the company coordinates directly with the students, and the entire process is managed by the company itself. And the placement cell is not involved except receiving updates of shortlisted and selected students. However, do not assume that off-campus companies are not good or not well-known brands come. Many off-campus companies are very well reputed. And as per the companies, as and when company come on board, we will circulate their tentative schedule of processes such as interviews, aptitude tests, and other selection rounds, along with their relevant details like dates and mode of process. Further, Bhumika will take.
Thank you, Gaurav. Hello, everyone. I'm Bhhomika Chhabria, Joint Vice Chairperson of the Placement Cell, and I will be guiding you through the key steps for the final placement process. So, it starts with the registration process in which all the interested students are allowed to register for their final placement. Post that, you will be attending the pulse sessions in which are designed to help you understand and various aspects of the process and refine your skills. Next, whenever a particular company is circulated to you, you need to carefully read the job description and requirements and apply to the company if you are genuinely interested in it. Finally, you will undergo the selection process, and if you get selected, then the job offer will be rolled out to you by the company. Jasmeet, can you change your slide? Now let's go through the schedule for the pulse sessions. These sessions are conducted specially for the third year students by highly experienced industry professionals. The goal is to build confidence, strengthen your skills, and prepare you for the challenges you might face during their final placement. So there are total six sessions where the first one is TY orientation, which is going on right now. This session is about understanding the final placement process along with the placement rule for the year. Next, we have session on how to draft a winning resume by Dr. Naveen Kanjabu, which will be held on 18th August. This session will give us insights into how to structure our resumes effectively, from highlighting achievements and skills to avoiding common mistakes, so that we present ourselves in the best possible way. The third session is AI Unplugged by Dr. Amya Ambulkar on 19th August, which will give us a deeper understanding of artificial intelligence, what it really is, the myth versus reality, and how it's transforming industries around us. Then, on 20th August, we have AI for All by Dr. Ravindra Henry, which will show us how AI is being applied across various fields, from finance and marketing to healthcare, and how we can prepare to work in the AI driven world. Next, we have Mr. Ashish Kirwani, who will be speaking on how to prepare for a first job in the real world and what it takes to succeed. He will share a practical tips for the stepping into the corporate world, the mindset needed to grow, and how to make a strong impression in your very first job. And lastly, on 23rd August, we have Ms. Tanvi Gokate session, which will, for that, the topic of the session will be declared soon. A detailed schedule for all these sessions have already been sent to you at your registered email ID, so please make sure to check it out. Lastly, the very most important thing that is compulsory for every student registered For the final placement, phase 1, to attend these sessions. Missing them could lead to the students being debarred from the process. The criteria for being marked as a defaulter and the conditions under which a student might get debarred will be explained in greater detail in the meeting later. Now, Neil will take this forward with common steps in the selection process.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Neil, the Senior Advisor of the Placement Cell. So now let's have a look at the common steps in the selection process. Like while every other company has its own approach, most of them follow a structure similar to this. The first step may be the pre-placement talk, where the company representatives introduce the organization, share details about the job roles, growth opportunities, and what they are looking for in the candidate. Next is the aptitude test. This is designed to check your problem-solving skills, logical reasoning, and sometimes even basic technical knowledge. Third, after that comes the group discussion. This stage helps the recruiters assess how well you communicate, work in a team, and put forward your ideas confidently. Finally, we have the interview round or rounds. These can be technical HR or sometimes it can be both, and they give the company a chance to understand your skills, personality, and whether you are the right fit for the role. Remember the order and the steps may vary from the company to company, but being prepared for all of them is the key. Just the next slide. So here are the important points to remember. First, only the bona fide third year students are eligible to participate. Second, always keep an eye on your mailbox and don't forget to check your spam or junk folder too, as important mails sometimes land there. Third, make sure you confirm your presence by replying to the emails you receive. This helps us plan better and avoid any confusions. Fourth, strictly follow all deadlines. Missing them can mean missing out on opportunities. And fifth, always follow the prescribed formal dress code. It creates a strong first impression and shows the professionalism. Keeping these simple points in mind will make the process smoother for you and as well as for the placement. So now Mahek will continue.
Hi everyone, I'm Mahak Kukreja, the Senior Advisor of the Placement Cell. So now let's look into the more important points which needs to be remembered. So first is provide accurate information. Always ensure that every detail you share, whether in forms, resumes, or interviews, is correct. False or misleading information can lead to disqualification. Second, keep all important documents ready. Arrange and check all required documents like resumes, mark sheets, and ID proof before the process day to avoid last minute confusion. Third, be present before time. Arriving early shows punctuality and gives you the time to settle, understand instructions, and avoid missing any part of the process. Fourth, ensure a stable network for virtual processes. If your interview or test is online, make sure you have a reliable internet connection and a backup option to prevent interruptions. Fifth, understand the company's process. Go through the selection stages, role details, and requirements of the company beforehand so you are fully prepared. Sixth, deregistration at company's discretion. Deregistration will only be possible if the company mentions, otherwise, it won't be allowed. All such details will be mentioned in the mail, so please read the mail carefully before applying. Seventh, one placement offer per student. You can accept only one offer, so think strategically before committing to a company. Eighth, maintain respect and decorum. Be polite and professional in all your interactions, both with company representatives and placement cell members. Ninth, clarifying doubts during pre-placement talk or interviews. If you are unsure about the job role, salary, or any requirement, ask during official sessions rather than later. And the last, do not contact with company directly. Avoid approaching recruiters outside the official communication channel. This can harm your chances and create a bad impression. Now, Jennifer will continue.
Thank you, Mahek.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jennifer David, the Joint Chairperson of the Placement Cell. I would be continuing with the important points of the placement cells in today's session. Firstly, accept offers promptly. Once a company releases an offer, it is crucial to confirm acceptance over mail within the given deadline. This ensures a smooth communication between the recruiting company and the placement cell and avoids any delays or miscommunications that can occur. Hence, all students are requested to provide this confirmation within the given deadline. Second, submit updated resumes. We expect all students to share the most recent and accurate version of their resumes when they register for a particular company. Outdated or incorrect details can create a negative impression and may even disqualify you from a process. And resubmission of resumes in middle of the process will not be allowed. Hence, all students are required to submit their updated resumes while registering for a company. Next, maintain confidentiality. Information regarding company's profile, the selection processes, and the recruiter details shared by the placement cell is strictly confidential. Sharing it externally can damage the college's professional relationship with the recruiters and also cause issues for the placement cell. Hence, all students are required to maintain confidentiality and not share such information with external parties. Next, stay present on campus. Once you register for a company, you are required to maintain and remain on campus until the process is completed. Leaving mid process can disrupt schedules and reflect poorly on the college's commitment. And all students are required to remain on campus till the process of entire recruitment is completed. And lastly, no rescheduling requests will be entertained. Placement drives are scheduled as per the company's availability. The placement cell cannot request changes for individual preferences, so accordingly, the students are required to adjust the schedules and be present for the interviews or rounds whenever possible. And next, this is the placement policy. All students are required to scan, and you can look into the different policies that the placement cell has for all the students. Make sure to read them as they are important rules and policies that the placement cell lays out for the entire process that takes place. You can scan or take a screenshot of this and make sure to read through it. Now, I would like Riddhima to continue with the session.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. I'm Riddhima Upadhyay, the Joint Vice Chairperson of the Placement Cell. I'm going to be talking about one of the most important parts of the policy, which is the rebar and default system. So, to start with, all the pulse sessions conducted by the placement team are compulsory for the students who have registered for final placements. Missing two or more of these sessions will result in being debarred from the entire placement season, and the placement cell will not be responsible for the same. As mentioned in the policy, here's how the rebar and default system will work during the final placement process. Since we are a democratic student body, any student who defaults in any part of the process, whether it's missing an interview or in general not complying with the process through their actions or inactions, will have the opportunity to explain the reason for their default. Supporting documents must be provided within the specified deadline to remain in the process. Any response received after the deadline will not be considered and the case will be treated as a default. Furnishing false information in your resume in the Google form or on the company's portal will result in immediate debarment from the final placement season. If an offer has already been made, it will be revoked by the company. In certain cases, the administration may also take strict action depending on the circumstances, so it's strongly advised to proofread all documents before submission. Every stage of the process is important for both you and the corporates. Therefore, students who registered for a company must attend candidates pre-placement talk, interviews, and any other scheduled activities. Missing any of these will be counted as a default. During interviews, professional conduct is essential. Any misconduct, misbehavior, disrespect, non-cooperation, or anything that harms the college's reputation will lead to debarment, along with a requirement to provide a written explanation to the director or principal. Please remember that how you present yourself in front of corporates directly reflects on the college. Also, I would like to remind you that on campus phase one, off campus, and on campus phase two are all part of the same placement process. Departments from any one of these will remove you from all upcoming company opportunities. Lastly, I would like to reiterate that reasons such as other club commitments or meeting with concerned authorities will not be considered as valid excuses for absence during placement activities. We expect every student to approach the placement process with utmost seriousness and to extend their complete dedication and cooperation. Your commitment not only reflects on you as individuals, but also on the reputation of our institution. I will now hand it over to Niharika to continue.
Hi everyone, I'm Nihareeka Kotai, the Joint Chairperson of the Placement Cell, and today I'll be explaining the repercussions of this regarding the placement policy. So first and foremost, it is highly inadvisable to go against the placement policy. However, it is important for you to know the consequences in case you default in any of the process. If we find that any student has defaulted for any of the reasons mentioned in the policy, the student will receive a default mail. The mail is essentially a first and only chance to avoid being debarred from the process. It will include a deadline for you to submit your reason for the default, and if the placement cell does not find your reason valid, it will be officially considered as your first default. Now, if student again go and defaults, then they will receive a mail stating that they have been debarred from the internship process. Now, the internship process includes the summer internship drive, winter internship drive, and the drives that are shared through your WhatsApp messages. So you won't be eligible for internships. Now, if a student continues to disregard the placement process and defaults for the third time, they will receive a mail stating that they have been debarred from the entire placement season. The placement season includes the phase 1 on campus, phase 2 on campus, and the off campus company. This means that you will not be allowed to sit for any of the companies until you graduate. Now, you will only be allowed to participate in the placements again if you provide a valid reason for your default, supported by a letter signed by Naveen sir. Next slide, please. Now, coming to the registrations, we still have several students who have not registered, and we have been receiving requests to reopen the form. The registrations have been opened until 10 p.m. today. Those interested in phase 1 can register by scanning the QR code and filling out the form. Next slide. Now, these are our social media handles and our email IDs. Now, we recommend that you first try to resolve your queries through these platforms only. Only if your query remains unresolved, you are not satisfied with the response, you can contact the placement cell member. We are now opening the forum for questions. You may raise your hand and ask one by one, or else you can post your questions directly in the chat box. So, taking Nitya's question, as and when the companies come, we'll be sharing you the list of that. Recently, Ernst& Young has been circulated today itself. So, as and when we have the schedule of the companies, we will be circulating that to you timely. The placement packages and everything is on our Instagram and LinkedIn handles. So from there, you can get the idea of the averages, the highest CTC.
Devansh, regarding consulting firms, like we can't share a list of companies as of now. As and when the companies keep coming in, we'll be sharing that across mail with you all. The same thing that we do for internships as well. Like they come on your WhatsApp messages. So, abhi, since this final placement, you will be receiving all the details on your mail. And Bhuvan, you can use your own resume format. There's no standard format that we are following as of now.
Jishita, so if you are selected in any of the company, so you won't be receiving any mails from other companies further. That will the company that you are selected in first will be considered the final offer, and you won't be eligible for further placements. And CA students who are pursuing articleship are not eligible for the final placements. Only the students who are not pursuing any professional course that doesn't require any mandatory internship are eligible for the final placement.
Yes, you can apply for multiple companies. So, guys, you can basically apply for as many companies as you can unless you're selected. So, once you're selected in a particular company, you will be removed from the final placement process. Like, you won't be allowed to search for further companies. Ritika, regarding aptitude test, even we don't have any idea. Like, it will be just a basic aptitude test. That you can find it on Google as well. Like the questions and all. There's no such thing which is shared to us by the company.
Yeah, Anusha, internships will be circulated in your WhatsApp group, so you can and you are eligible to take part in the internships. There's no such restriction on internships. And Sambhav, no, if you are shortlisted by the company, then you should have the full intention to sit through the entire process, and you can't back out later.
Also, I would like to add that few companies have allow for deregistration, which is basically once you attend the pre-placement talk, the company allows you to deregister from the process. So if you attend the pre-placement talk and you feel that okay, this isn't something that you want to go ahead, the mail and the job description carefully, and you have full intention of joining the company, because once you're selected and if you reject the offer, then you will be debarred from the final placement drive. And the meet regarding your CFA exam, it's just of 1 day, right? And pulse are 6 days. So if you miss one pulse, that's all right. You have to provide us the reason along with the proof on mail. But I don't think that should be an issue. You can attend online pulse as well. Deep
Yeah.
for companies while doing internship. Now I think you can take the next question.
Yeah. So the EY has been circulated on your registered email ID, so you can check that. And yeah, for the selection process, it depends on the company. It varies according to the company. Some companies might have group discussion interview. So whatever the schedule is, they'll share with you that on the mail. And yeah, once you are selected for the company, you are not eligible to sit for any other company, and you won't, you will be deregistered.
Deep, if you're pursuing any certification course, you can definitely add that to your resume. Pranjal, if a company selects someone, then he must have to, yes, you have to accept the offer. That's what I'm saying, that when you're applying for a company, be very sure that you will be accepting the offer if you get selected. So in the form, we do have a declaration that you have to tick mark that you have full intention of joining the company. So do your research prior to applying for the company. Regarding a list of companies that came last year, I think Insta we have posted corporate that believes in us, Nihareeka, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So you can check that.
Because for your query, the companies will be coming for internship as well as final placement both. Internship, you will get it on your WhatsApp, and for final placement, you will receive all the companies on your mail ID. Vinita, if you are doing internship, then also you are eligible to apply for the final placement, but not for the internship companies. If you can apply for other internship company once your internship gets over. Vanshika, it is not compulsory to follow the sample resume format which we have attached or which we send it to you. You can edit and upload your resumes as you can in
Sambhav,
whatever
can you
format you want.
share which course you are from, since Ernst& Young had an eligibility for courses, so there might be a case your course is not eligible, BBI. Just check your spam folder. Okay, BCom. Check your spam folder once and let us know.
Krish,
Samar,
for your query regarding that you have not received the per session schedule, you can fill out a final placement registration form and then we will send, then you will receive your schedule on the mail ID.
The
Nitya,
average
as
and
of
the
now,
yeah,
yeah, Nihareeka, continue.
the average and the median packages are there on our Instagram handle. Also, you can get the rough idea of what was the average CTC last year.
Sambhav, for your query, we will check from our side and we will let you know whatever the issue which is there, and you will receive the mail from our side regarding our issue.
Also, regarding companies that are coming, you all will receive a list.
The
While
list of companies which come in our college are already posted in our Instagram handle, so you can refer to that and you can see which all companies come into our college.
also Vivek, you're saying that you can't, we can decide in which company we should apply because once we get offer, we can't decline. So basically, you will be getting this through mails, like just abhi EY came. So it's on you whether you want to apply or not. So providing a list wouldn't help either because once you get it on your mail, it's up to you whether you want to apply or not. Yash, BMS marketing is not eligible to apply for Ernst& Young.
Whatever the eligibility of the company is, it will be mentioned on the mail. So make sure you read the eligibility and then only apply.
Coming back to Sania's and Roshni's questions, that are CA, CS, and CMA students eligible? So, as per the placement policy, CA and CMA India students are not eligible for the final placement drive. They are eligible for the articleship drive that takes place by the placement cell. So, leaving CA and CMA India, all other professional courses are yet acceptable, but these two courses are not acceptable as the articleship is compulsory for these two courses.
Divya, regarding your doubt, you can apply in multiple companies before getting selected. But if you get selected for two, three companies at the same time, then the company in which you have applied first, you have to accept that offer. You can't accept the other offers. And yes, for your doubt, the meeting will be uploaded on a YouTube handle of HR College, so you can check that after the meeting.
No, no, doctor.
Only online sessions, meetings, minutes will be provided in our HR College YouTube channel. Offline minutes meeting will not be provided.
And it is not an alternative for you missing any of the sessions. So in case you are thinking that you will see the minutes of the meeting on YouTube or anything for the online sessions, then it won't be considered for your attendance or anything. So attending the session is mandatory.
Divya, your query is what if we applied for multiple companies before getting selected and we get selected in more than one company? So if you have applied in one or more companies and you are getting selected in one or more companies, so whichever the first company comes and you are selected in one of the like first जो पहले company आए and you are getting selected in that, so you have to accept that offer letter only.
Regarding just, so the deregistration process is basically once the company has the pre-placement talk, some of the companies might have the option where they tell you that if you are not interested after attending the pre-placement talk, you can deregister from the company. So post which you won't be eligible for the further process of the company. And this is based on the company. We can't decide or we don't decide the deregistration. So only if the company allows, then you are eligible to deregister, and that will also be mentioned on the mail when the company is circulated if if deregistration is allowed or not. So make sure to read thoroughly.
For Bhavan's query, sure, Bhavan, we will look into it and see whether all these companies do these things, and we'll get back to you. We'll try to bring more companies like that.
Nitya, for your query, the companies which have come in the past years have been uploaded as a post on our Instagram handle. You can check that out. Roshni, for your query, the agriculture drive has already been started. It has been circulated in your WhatsApp group. You can check that and fill out the form. And we will add you in the mailing list. And after that, you will be receiving the mail from the companies as and when the company comes.
Regarding Nitya's question, kindly look into the final placement reports and the internship reports. In that, the CTCs and the stipends for the last year have been mentioned on our Instagram as well as on our LinkedIn.
Regarding deregistration, it will be provided on mail itself when the company is circulated. So you can check that if the deregistration is allowed or not.
Bhavesh, yes, whichever the companies we circulate through the mail, it is already mentioned if the deregistration is allowed or not. So you have to read that mail carefully. And the second, Nitya, also if we want any companies to come for the placement, how should we recommend? The form which we circulate for the registration, in that the question was already mentioned. If you want any company to come into our college, so you can fill that again.
Also, you can mail us in that same mail ID. We'll take it forward.
Yeah, but make
Um,
sure the coordinates will also be
Yes.
shared.
Manvi, regarding your resume, so as and when the company comes, you have to upload at that time. Once you have uploaded, you can change resume for that company. It's whatever you have changes you have to do, you can do it and submit it before the deadline. For another company, you can change your resume and upload it for that. Venita, you will receive the circulation mail for Ernest and Young on your mail ID soon.
Yeah, Anisha. So if you are selected for the first company, then you have to select the offer letter of that company only. You won't be eligible for the other company's process.
Just you can send the contacts on the mail ID which was mentioned in the presentation earlier, if for the contacts.
No, Nitya. So we won't be able to help hold such sessions with the students, but we are definitely going to help have this pulse session for that only, so that you guys can get a better idea of how GDs and everything work with the top industry professionals only. So that will give you a better idea.
Rishita, we can't disclose how many companies which you can expect. As and when the companies come for on campus, we will let you know. On your mail ID, you will receive the mail for that company.
Bhavisha, CA and CMA India students are not eligible for the final placement phase. So they are not required to attend the pulse session as of now. You are eligible for the articleship drive, but whereas it is for CMA USA students and the CA students, so they are eligible for the final placement phase. So they need to attend the pulse sessions.
Pranjal, we can't disclose the number of students who have got selected as of now. And
Tanisha,
Tanisha,
yes, yeah,
yes,
Bhumika.
Bhumika, may I continue?
Yeah. So Tanisha, these all pulse sessions will help you regarding for the preparing for the interview. So you must attend all this. Yeah, it is mandatory to attend all the pulse sessions which are happening in upcoming days. Otherwise, you will be debarred.
Roshni, as per your question, according to the placement cell policy, CS students are eligible for the placement drive, so you are eligible to sit for the drive.
As per
Riddham,
Vinita's question, hmm, as per Vinita's question, so if let's say BMS Finance are only eligible, then and let's say you are in marketing and you want to apply, then you won't be able to apply because only BMS Finance students are eligible to apply.
Riddham, for your question, it is mandatory to attend the first session. The debar criteria has already been explained to you earlier, and you can check our final placement policy for more confirmation. And Vidhi, can you share the schedule for per session? You will receive the schedule for the per session. If you have applied earlier, then you must have received on your mail. And if you are applying it right now, you will receive the per session schedule soon on your mail.
For now, Jasmeet, can you please share the screen again and show the schedule? And if anybody wants to need the schedule, you can screenshot and save it.
The details for the articleship drive has already been sent on your WhatsApp group, so you can check that by your CRs.
All interview details, whatever it is needed to prepare, as mentioned, the key steps, that is aptitude, group discussion, and all. Based on that, you can prepare from like Google or YouTube, but we'll be giving you some idea on how to prepare. But it is, you can't just do on that. You have to do your own preparation as well. So we can't guarantee that you will get all the information of interview and how to prepare from the pulse session only. It will just give you a basic idea of how those things work.
Bhuvan, for your doubt, the pulsation and the internal exam, the time is not clashing and both are online, so that won't create any issue. There is not any WhatsApp group for the final placement students. You will receive all the further details for the final placement on your mail ID.
Guys,
Monisha,
this
for
is
your
the
doubt,
schedule, the per session. You can take the screenshot of the same.
Monisha, as you can see on the screen, all the pulse sessions are not online. Some are offline and some are online. Anisha, the CTC will be mentioned in the job description, which will be shared. Vinita, if you are BMS finance students and you want to apply for the marketing role and you are intern, then you can apply. If the eligibility of the company is allowing you to, then you can apply. Vansh, for that, for your issue, Hitanshi, the further details for the offline session on 18th will be shared with you on your mail soon.
Also, the details will be shared on our Instagram as well. Should be updated.
Once for your
Yash,
issue, you have to minimum attend pulse sessions, so you can manage it accordingly. And offline sessions are only 3 sessions, and rest are online, so you can manage it.
Rhythm, for not attending the first session, the reason will depend. Uh, it will depend on your reason, if it's acceptable and if it's valid or not.
So basically, we need a valid proof And if we consider it as a valid reason, you will be marked as present. And if not, then yeah.
We expect full-time finance roles from financial institutions, whichever the companies which is coming in this phase only offer for full-time role only.
Answering another question, that what about outstation students and they won't be able to attend the offline pulse session? So you're required to mail the placement cell providing accurate proof that you are outstation along with your ticket, so that we know that you are not in town to attend the pulse session, the offline pulse sessions. That will be considered, but you will be required to attend the online pulse sessions mandatorily in this case.
Priyanka, for your query, the offline sessions, the duration for that will be around 1.5 to 2 hours.
Also, guys, request you all to send your issues on the main chat itself, as it might get missed on the personal side.
For your doubt, if you get selected for the company, the joining will start after your Sem 6 exams.
And whether will it start immediately? Well, it depends for company to company. So that date of joining will be mentioned in the offer letter, which will be provided by the company. If you don't have any queries, you can leave. I guess it's fine. You can unmute also and speak your doubt if you have anyone.
Because attendance has been recorded.
Regarding the joining dates, it would be after your Sem 6 exams. Also, it depends on the company in which month they want to join. Yes, wearing formal dress codes are mandatory and it
And
will count
places are
as,
also mandatory.
yeah.
Vanshika, your query has already been, I guess Jennifer has explained earlier that for outstation students, you have to send us your valid reason along with the tickets. Uh, and all the online sessions are compulsory for you to attend.
Basically, valid proof
Jan,
would be needed.
yeah, Janvi, for a query, yes, all the informations will be provided through mail only. And Hitanshi, uh, regarding our joining, it will be after a census exam, and that if you are already been committed to the internship, that you have to communicate with the company, or when if it gets clashes, then you can let us know and we will see.
And Shlok, giving the answer. Yes, wearing blazers in the sessions and the pulse sessions are compulsory, and you have to follow the dress code. And not following the dress code will count it as a default. So make sure you all follow the dress code, which is mentioned in the mail. And yes,
As and when the companies come, you'll find the list, you'll get the list of the companies. Also, guys, regarding the joining won't be prior your semester 6 exams at all. It will be post your semester 6 exams only.
The company will also mention the dates and the joinings like while in your interviews.
Tangel, the off-campus companies can come, but the on-campus companies will not be coming during the Diwali break.
So for
Nitya,
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 for a
yeah,
yeah, Gaurav, you can continue.
hmm, so so for Nitya's doubt, actually this won't be an issue because whenever you are applying to a company, we are keeping in mind that these selected students won't clash, and let's say if it clashes also, then the other company, the second company will be informed that you are already selected in the first company and you will be removed from the process. So ultimately, you will have to take the first company's offer letter, accept the first company's offer letter.
For Dia's
Nitya,
question, for knowledge purpose professional. So if you're from any course other than CA and CMA India, you're eligible. So you have to attend the Pulse sessions.
Nitya,
Not
for the
eligible.
second out.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
CA and CMA India students are not eligible
Yeah.
for final placement.
Nitya, for the second out, how the off-campus will work. So for on-campus, all the interview process and all the interview process are conducted in college itself. Whereas for off-campus, the process will be conducted by the company itself at their place.
the resume selections depend on the company. So the company doesn't disclose the criteria to us. So it depends on the company.
January, the Diwali break schedule will be shared by your coordinator on your WhatsApp group. Manvi, if what if you want to join the second company and not the first one? So if you have applied for the first one, then your intention will be to join in the first company also. So the first company, if you get selected in that, you will have to accept the offer for that only, and you can't accept the offer for second company then. Because your intention for joining, for applying for the first company will also be same for the second company that you have to work in that company.
There might be process held or might not, but there won't be an on-campus in-college process during the Diwali break. There might be online process, but mostly we can't guarantee that right now.
Yes, for most companies, the range of the CTC will be mentioned in the job description.
On-campus
Vivek,
companies
interviews will be
process,
held in,
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
so interviews in the college will be for on campus only, for off campus company, it will be at the office and not in college.
The mode will be also given to you in the job description in the mail itself if the process is going to be held in college or if it is going to be held online.
Pranjal, for your CTC structure, in that all the information will be available. Vaishali, for BVOC students, the eligibility depends on the company to company. If any specific courses are eligible, then it will be mentioned in the mail. Otherwise, it is eligible for all the courses students.
Sambhav, there are chances the colleagues which we are talking about might not have submitted the correct documents which we required. So I also request you to please check your mails too if it is rejected. So due to which reason, so you can correct and submit your correct document.
There are chances that you have registered late or after the mail has been sent already. After that, you registered. So we will be resending the mails to all those who registered after the process. So kindly wait for some time.
And no deadline extension will be there after today.
Guys, if there are any queries, you can tell on the chat box or you can raise your hand or else we'll be ending with the meet in 5 minutes. Yeah, the registration deadline has been extended till today, so you can register. Yeah, Tanisha, if the company says that there should be proficiency in MS Excel and Office, then they require you to be fully aware of what's there. And if not, at least the basic things. Guys, we'll be ending the meet by 5:20, so request you all if there are any queries, so you can tell us now. Basically, as and when the companies come and when they are circulated, so the CTC details will be mentioned in the job description. For different companies, it will be different mail and different job description.
Anisha, for your query, you will be given 48 hours deadline to consider if you want to apply for that company or not. For the on-campus process, you will be given 48 hours deadline. You can check the deadline, and before the deadline, you can fill out the form if you are interested to apply in that company. Anisha, the CTC details will be mentioned in the job description when it gets circulated, not before the interview process. You can check the CTC details if before you apply. First, we can't disclose any student's contact number.
I hope all the queries are resolved now.
Then if you get Abhimanyu, then if you get selected in that apprenticeship, you will have to inform the placement cell that you are already selected, and then we will accordingly remove you from the mailing list. And let's say you get selected in one of our companies first from the placement cell, that is, then you can inform the apprenticeship company that you are already selected and you won't be able to continue. But rejecting our offer will ultimately lead to debar, to being debarred.
I guess we can end the meet now as we don't have any further queries.
Nitya, we can't disclose the number of companies coming. As and when the companies are coming, they'll be circulated to you. Guys, we'll be ending with the meet right now. So hope all your queries have been resolved.
Thank you so much for joining, guys.